great season.
Thank you.
How do you think it's gone?
It's gone, for me personally, well. I've enjoyed this season. I've played well, had some really big games. It's been a tad disappointing in some sense because we did have aspirations to win the league this year. I mean, I think when we started the season, we all wanted to, really challenge and be the #1 team in the UK. That didn't quite go to plan. We had some big injuries that put us back, and then, a few players leaving, a few players coming into the team, and it just sort of, stumbled us a little bit. But overall, I think, considering everything, it's been a relatively successful season. We had a pretty good record. We had some fantastic victories. We had some bad losses as well. But, we had to fight a few elements this year which we didn't predict. And
I mean, it's been a bit of a roller coaster, hasn't it?
It has.
What's that like for a player, sort of?
It's up and down. I mean, 1 minute, I remember DeAntoine got injured. We played up in Worthing. We won. Then the next day we won by 1 point versus Worcester, and it was one of the best victories I've ever had in my life. I mean, I played really well. I had a great fourth quarter. We came back, won the game by 1 point, and I was elated for a week or two. And then, literally pretty soon after that, we had this humiliating loss, and you just feel absolutely down. You get out, up in the morning on a Monday after the loss, and you just feel dejected. So for a club like the Raiders, the last few years we've been used to being successful. To lose like in the manner we have by 30, 40 points, it's been embarrassing, but we've picked it up recently.
Does that give you strength going into Sunday, into the Guildford game?
It gives me strength because I mean, we went through this really rough period, and then we had a few bigger injuries, and I got a chance to play a lot more minutes, and I just said to the guys, listen, I'm spilling guts and blood out here. If we're going to go down, we're going down fighting, because it was embarrassing to watch, and it just didn't feel good. It felt like we weren't giving everything sometimes. And it's one of those things in sport, it's really unexplainable. You see it in other teams. And
do you feel you had to say that because you're a Plymouth boy?
Well, I said it to a couple of players, but it was more in my actions. And I remember I was starting, and I just came out, and I was physical, and I quite clearly tried to play it with everything. And whether I wasn't making shots or wasn't, playing that well, putting the ball in the hoop, just that kind of attitude. But look, we've got to really push it up a notch here, because we're not just so good that we can just turn up and be slick and cool and just ride out the victory. And I think the team, because we had some new players and it just was up and down, we had injuries, I think it just took a while for us to get the grips with that. And looking back, it's to be expected. The last 3 years we built up this momentum, and we were a well-oiled machine. Everyone knew their roles, and we had this attitude. We were sort of a new team this year, and with some of the setbacks we had, it can be expected that we hit some stumbling blocks. But right now, I mean, I'm feeling confident for Sunday, and I think if we can have a really good run now, I think looking back on this season, it would be a pretty good one. Not great, but not bad. It would be good.
Personally, how pleased with you with the Herald, winners? I mean, was that ever expected?
I wouldn't say it was expected, but I mean, I had quite a good number of friends say they're going to vote for me, and just some fans did as well, which I don't even know. And I think, I've been bringing quite a few of my mates from outside of basketball to games this year, like people in other circles, like in bands and just friends who I grew up with, and they all were on the blower to me saying they were going to vote for me and stuff. So I did get the Plymouth vote, But
you're being modest.
But I think I was a mainstay through the season. I wasn't injured, and in the games where I played quite a lot of minutes this year, I think I really delivered and had some really big games. I had without a doubt, some of the best games of my career. And I was really happy personally with the way I've played. And hopefully the fans saw a player who, while I'm not going to say I'm the most talented player in the UK or even on the team, I certainly think I play as hard as I can and get as much out of the talent that I've got. And I think, it's really nice for them to recognise that in me, and that I've given a lot to the club, and I'm, fantastically grateful to the fans for voting for me. And
And Sunday, what do you do now between now and Sunday? Are you practicing hard?
Yeah, we've been training hard this week. We trained really hard Tuesday last night, and we'll train hard again today, and probably again Friday. Saturday, I'm not exactly sure what the plan is as yet. Usually we have either a game or an off day, but I imagine if we don't train, I'll get up to the gym and just do some shooting just to keep it going, you know, and probably just relax on Saturday, maybe have a sauna, steam room, stretch, relax. And then Sunday we're leaving at 9 AM and then it's all go into the spotlights.
So what's the thing then? Two down with a second to go, you've got the ball outside the arc, block the three in.
Well, I mean, I had a chance earlier in the season to do that against Everton and it rimmed out, and you know, I don't want to make excuses. I had a good chance to score and I was a little cold and it just didn't drop. I would like a chance to have that opportunity, you know. I hope it doesn't come to that.
Just from outside, can you feel that you're hot or cold early on in the game? Do you feel that, or do you always expect that three to drop?
I always start the game expecting it to happen, but obviously, you know, it just sometimes it just doesn't. A lot of it for most shooters is like getting into a rhythm and a confidence, and also teammates finding you. And you know, some games this year, because I've had some really big games, teams have just zeroed in on me, and I haven't been able to get free at all for any shots. But hopefully, when that happens, this frees up other players for a chance to have big games, and I'm somewhat of a decoy, you know, because they're worrying so much about me, but there's gaps in the defence for players to attack. But in terms of shooting, you know, usually if I hit a couple and then I'm getting some good chances to score, get my feet set, comfortable, then I can get really confident, and then that's when the tough shots start to drop. You know, when you just start getting on fire, that's when you're a few steps out with the guys in your face and you're still shooting and you're so confident it goes in. Hopefully I can get right now on Sunday.
Well, good luck for Sunday, Ali.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks a lot.